Yo guys, welcome back to Chelsea Explain, as this is your final match preview for the Club World Cup, and it's none other than the final against the best team in the world right now, which is PSG. And what we're gonna discuss about in this match preview is whether we Chelsea actually stand a chance against PSG, and if we have any chance whatsoever of winning the Club World Cup. And we're gonna also talk a little bit what we can do to hopefully nullify PSG, as well as playing through them and hopefully creating chances where we can score and win the game. PSG has a fantastic project. For me, they have maybe the ultimate project, and it's proof of that because they are simply the best team in the world right now. I mean, just look at the semi-final, how they easily won against Real Madrid. And just through the season in general, they have been fantastic in League One, in Champions League, in this Club World Cup. And Luis Enrique, together with their sporting director Luis Campos, doing a fantastic job. They have assembled a squad without any big egos, players that prioritize team cohesion and stay together, working together as a unit. And yes, they have assembled a quite young squad, but they also have purchased young guys that will become world-class players, and they have already purchased some guys that are already world-class players in terms of Kvaratskhelia. But they have also kept leadership and experience in the team in terms of Donnarumma, Marquinhos, Hakimi, Dembele got lots of experience, Fabian in the midfield. They got backups with some experience as well in terms of Lucas Hernandez. It's not a squad where everyone is under 25, under 23 years old, and I think it's really important you're having a nice mix of both worlds. They become very dangerous because Luis Enrique wants every player to work together as a team, and they definitely do that. I mean, they're pressing aggressively every game. If someone doesn't press, they're not gonna get game time, and it has worked for them, and that's why they also shifted out players like a Neymar, like an Mbappe, like a Messi that wasn't contributing off the ball in terms of the off-the-ball work and defensively. So it's very key in PSG's system that forwards is also helping out defensively. They're also playing a sort of tiki-taka positional play-based system similar to what we do. Also like having wingers or players out wide stretching the opponent's backline. But compared to us, they have one winger and one attacking wingback in Hakimi, who is stretching the opponent's fullback. But the systems is kind of similar, but they're focused on more short passes, fluid movement through their midfielders and attackers interchanging position. And that's why it's so dangerous to man mark their players, because suddenly they're shifting positions and then they have completely disoriented the opponent's team, and therefore there's tons of space that they can exploit and take advantage of, and therefore create a lot of chances. So it can be quite dangerous to mark them. It's gonna be difficult knowing exactly what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have different game plans depending on certain scenarios, what's happening, that we can surely get into later in this video. One thing that is really dangerous that we have to watch out for in PSG's system is their false nine in Dembele, who is arguably a candidate for winning the Ballon d'Or. And it's very difficult finding players that are good in a false nine role, but they have found that, and what makes it so difficult to defend against a false nine is that they dropping down constantly in pockets of space where for example then PSG can decide whether they're gonna overload the opposition midfield, being +1 there, and then they can play through the opposition midfield, or Dembele can also drift wide onto the flanks and they can overload there. It sort of depends on what team they're facing and what's going on in the game. So PSG is also extremely adaptable and flexible to the opponents they're facing. Keeping an eye on Dembele is gonna be so difficult, and I don't know what you can do to stop that. It's very important that centre back is not following him too far, because then space will be open up for a through ball on a pacey Kvaratskhelia, and then it's basically done. PSG is also a side that loves making through balls. They love making passes into the half spaces, and they also love finding the wide players in space to make cutback passes. So we have to make sure players are coming back, defending the box and taking their man, because it's very difficult defending against cutback passes. How can we beat PSG, and do we actually stand a chance? I believe we stand a chance, because I think Chelsea usually suits us better to play against opponents that are stronger, that likes to dominate possession, that likes to press high. The strength in Maresca's system is actually to play through the opposition who is pressing aggressively. And we have players with the attributes and technicalities and intelligence to do that, in terms of Cucurella, Colwill, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, etc. We usually struggle against teams that are stubborn, sitting in a low block and just sit and wait. That's where we struggle the most. But I feel like it's the opposite. When we're facing teams that are pressing aggressively high, we play through them. The only questionable mark is maybe Robert Sanchez, but our other players is extremely good at that. The way PSG playing and how they're pressing is actually gonna suit us, and then it's gonna feel like we're almost going on direct counterattacks because we're playing through their high press. And let's not forget how used we are to playing against these type of opponents in Premier League, because in Premier League basically every team is pressing high with lots of intensity and aggressiveness. And Maresca has mentioned time and time again that he wants his team to be brave, not clear the ball away, try to always play through the opponent. And then we can find our dangerous players in Neto, Palmer, Fernandez, our new signings in João Pedro and Delap, with time on the ball. It's gonna go the both ways in this game. If PSG is not effective and aggressive in their press and not winning back the ball, we're gonna play through them, and it's gonna be the same case. If we're not aggressive in our press, they're gonna play through us. This sort of game is gonna suit us, and we also have players that is very suited for lots of time on the ball and going on counter-attack. We have the opportunity to do so. It's gonna be important Maresca is flexible, that we can both look to dominate possession, play our sort of positional play when we have the chance to do so, but we're also gonna try to play through the press and also play counter-attacking football when PSG has lost possession, when they are disoriented, and then we could have an advantage and hit them on direct transitions. Now the question is in terms of how we gonna defend and stop PSG. Are we gonna drop our lines back and sit in a low block? I don't think that's gonna happen under Maresca, and I just think that's gonna be dangerous, because you're gonna invite pressure to your own half. And I think that's extremely dangerous against PSG. They're gonna play through you and find a way to score. But also pressing them high could also be extremely dangerous, because just like us, they are so good at playing through the opponent's press. I mean, your pressing game is gonna be on point. It's gonna be very calculated, and every player is gonna have to carry their brick, as Reece James likes to quote. You're gonna have to play your part and do your job, and that can be dangerous. So personally, I feel like Maresca, I think we should start sitting in a mid block and just see a little what's happening in the game, and when they entering the mid block, then we can press them aggressively. I mean, one other little thing that can be key in this game that we can exploit is their defensive midfielder position and the centre back position, because PSG has really good free centre midfielders that both contributing on and off possession, but they don't have a pure defensive midfielder that's winning back the ball like a Caicedo. They don't really have that type of ball-winning midfielder or anchor. So we can exploit their midfield in terms of that. And I think we also should have a striker being close to Beraldo, because he has come in as a substitute for Pacho, who is a more physical centre-back. But Beraldo is more, he's not that physical, he's more sort of technical. And putting an aggressive Delap on him and trying to exploit those weaknesses is something that could play into our favor. We also have to not respect PSG. We have to look at them just like any other opponent, play our game, play with composure, confidence. We're playing together as a team. If we conceding 1-0, 2-0, if someone makes a mistake, let it be. Just forget about it, move on, and try to think it only matters what I'm doing now. Sure, I made a mistake, sure, we let in a goal, but we can still equalize. We can still turn the game around. That's the mentality we need to install and have throughout the whole game. It's going to be a fantastic test to see where we are, and we should do everything in our power to win this final. And if we're having a proper game plan, out of possession, in possession, can be flexible and adaptable depending on what's happening, and we're having the right mentality, then we definitely have a chance of beating PSG. It's not the first time we're playing big opponents, and we have come pretty far away now under Maresca. It's just some things we need to improve upon, and then it's gonna look pretty good. The only thing I worry about in Maresca system is our attacking patterns, and that we can create more clear opportunities in the final third against low blocks. Like, that's basically it, and players just being more clinical and decisive in the final third. I mean, otherwise our defensive output has improved massively under Maresca compared to how it was Pochettino, where we were leaking goals left, right and centre. In terms of the lineup, Colwill and Delap is back for selection after they were suspended. We have some injuries in terms of Badiashile Lavia. We see what's gonna happen with Caicedo. It's a bit unclear whether he's available or not. We can start with him, and if he cannot, play, then we can take him out and bring on Santos. So we see if Caicedo starts, but I'm gonna count on him. We're gonna have Sanchez in goal. In the backline, we're gonna have James, Chalobah, Colwill, and Cucurella. If Cucurella inverts into the midfield or bombing up the left-hand side as an offensive wing-back, we see what Maresca will do there. But James, Chalobah, Colwill will be the makeshift back three. Cucurella inverts into the midfield together with Caicedo. Just would have been fantastic if Lavia was fit and we could have had Lavia, Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez in the midfield, having that extra protection, breaking down PSG's midfield. But what can we do? We are without Lavia. But it's also important we're stopping the midfield. We're getting stuck in. We cannot let PSG have too much time on the ball, because then they can do whatever they want and they're gonna play through us. We're not gonna be able to stop them. In the half spaces we have Enzo Fernandez, Cole Palmer on the wings, Neto on the right hand side, João Pedro on the left hand side. Unless, as I said, unless we have, Cucurella bombing up and down, then we can have Enzo Fernandez in the pivot and João Pedro moving into the left half space. And we need Liam Delap up front. We're not going to play Madueke, he's on his way to Arsenal. Nico Jackson can be a great substitute, and Kunku as well. But Delap, Pedro, Fernandez, all of these players is offering excellent off the ball work. That's gonna be needed. Our wingers is gonna have to track back and help Cucurella and James. They're gonna have to help and stop Kvaratskhelia, Hakimi bombing forward. Otherwise, we're gonna get cooked. Liam Delap, relentless in the press, gonna be so key. Extremely good at winning back the ball. If we're starting with this 11, honestly, I'm gonna be confident. I have full belief we can cause a shock here and win Global Cup final. We could also be flexible in case we need more players going forward, like we've seen with Maresca. He has switched to a sort of Cruyff 3-4-3 diamond system. That could also be something we switch to. Yeah, in terms of a score prediction, I think it's gonna end 2-2 on full 90 minutes. Then on overtime, both teams is gonna score 1 goal each. So it's gonna finish 3-3 after 120 minutes, and then it's gonna be decided on penalties. And I'm probably gonna have a heart attack, and I'm gonna miss what happened in the game, if we won the penalties or not. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you believe we actually can beat PSG? Let me know that, and I'll happily read that. And if you're brand new here, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my page, hit that notification bell down below so you never miss when the content drops. Chelsea explains out. Bye.